What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you saw last night, I blew my account and I ended up resetting it. But to be fully transparent with you, I took a really stupid trade last night, um, before we kind of come into what I did today. I was just tilting, right? I was just tilting, and it's something that obviously is not good. Um, it's something that I need to improve on. So, I ended up taking a couple trades. I almost blew my account. I was down like $1,700 just because of the fact that like I just wanted to come back into the market, prove that I knew what I was doing, right? I've had this issue where I'm always constantly wanting to win. I'm always being competitive. I'm always trying to do the best I can to be on top, right? I don't want to accept the fact that I'm wrong, and that's honestly one of my issues. And one of the ways that I'm trying to fix that is through Stoicism. So I'm going to give you a passage later on in this video after we go over the trade, kind of let you know what I'm doing, let you know how, um, I'm trying to accept things, and basically a passage that kind of correlates with that. So, but if we talk about the trade, one of the things I wanted to talk about was on TradingView. I like TradingView a lot, but something I learned from Cami Capital, he also trades volume profile slightly different way than I do. But in one of his videos, I think it was one of his live streams, because I went back and watched like a lot of his live streams just so I can kind of understand and feel volume profile, is he said that the volume profile on Top Step X is actually more accurate than on TradingView. And the reason why is because on TopStep X, they actually use tick data, right? So, one, with the way that we were today, I like you can barely see the volume profile on TradingView. On TopStep X, it's easier once you zoom in. But on TradingView, I had such a hard time zooming in, trying to see where it's at. As you can see here, like I can't even get to that. So how am I supposed to label my zone? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use Top Step X today. I wasn't thinking that there was that much of a difference, but when actually trading it, the zones were actually significantly different, right? To the point where if you look here where I actually ended up taking the trade, I only took the trade because we broke the zone, right? We broke the zone, and then we came back into it, and then we showed some increased selling, kind of telling me like, hey, like this is actually a really good zone to play off of. I wanted it to come back to point of control for a better entry, but I just wanted to take one contract in the beginning, just to see if we would flush, and we ended up doing so. Now I got out like 2 minutes early for the huge flush down, but I just wanted to make sure I just made the money today, and prove to myself that I can consistently make money in this market. But um yeah, that was one of those things where I'm like, man, like I didn't realize how much of a difference it makes to trade the tick data rather than the minute data on TradingView. So actually starting from now, I'm going to be using TopStep X's um tick data for the volume profile in order to um trade now. So I think it's a lot more helpful than it is to do it on TradingView. The only bad thing about on Top Step X is that you have to consistently drag it, right? So if you can see, I drag it, the volume profile changes slightly. But on TradingView, like it's automatically, there's a setting here that you can extend it to the right here, and it'll continuously extend it to the right for you, so you don't have to worry about dragging it. So I just have to make sure that I'm continuously dragging it each time. So I'm gonna start setting my levels on here. It kind of just makes more sense. Now getting into the trade, again, kind of I've already alluded to it a little bit, but we drew our zones. I always start trading at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, I mean, that first candle at 8 o'clock, we had this huge wick down, right? So kind of like trying to hold this zone here, but then we broke out of it, right? On increased selling volume. I think that also correlates on TradingView as well. So TradingView volume is uh better than Top Step X's volume. I don't know why that is, but I've been faked out on Top Step X in the past. So increased volume here, breaking out of the zone. We came back to retest. For whatever reason, from reading price action, I was like, I don't think we're actually going to come back up to point of control here. So let me just get one contract in early and see what we do. Then we ended up breaking again on increased volume here. And then I was like, okay, let me start adding a little bit. So I added first on here, added another one here on the retest, a little bit on the retest here. It was a big, not a big wick, but it was a wick enough where I'm like, okay, there's some weakness there. Then added again on increased volume, added again on increased volume, and then a few minutes later we were out. I should have, hindsight 2020, I should have waited, but no, it's a good thing that I took my money. I wanted to take my money. I wanted my $400 win today. Yes, it could have been more, but you can always get more. You can always get more, and that's not the point. The point is to consistently trade in the way that you know how to follow your rules, figure out what you need to do in order to consistently make money in the market, and however much you get is whatever you get. You accept whatever is coming to you, right? And again, that's part of the reason why I named this channel Trading Stoically is because that's what I'm trying to achieve. I am not there yet, right? Whenever there's money involved, we give it this defined meaning that, oh, if I make money, it's good. If I lose money, it's bad. But in reality, you're just making money or you're losing money. It's because of the fact that we have this reasoning, right? This faculty of reasoning that we're defining to a win or a loss that makes it good to us or makes it bad to us, right? For us, whether this chart goes up can be a good thing because you bought in at the bottom here. But for someone else, this chart going up could be a bad thing because you decided to sell at the bottom here, right? So whatever happens there is whatever happens. It is what it is, but we're the ones who give it meaning to define, whether it's good or bad, right? And that's something that we have to try to stay away from in the sense of like, yeah, like it's good that you make money, but to be overly emotional about it, to be so emotional that if you win, like you're so happy and so excited. Yeah, like it's good to be happy, but you look at it for what it is. Was it a good trade? Was it a bad trade? And then you move on from it, right? And then same thing with your losses too, which I did not do yesterday. I completely just blew up. I didn't take it well. I should have gotten out for a much smaller loss. I'd still be in that account right now. We'd be closer to our goal of passing that count by the end of April and hopefully getting a payout as well. But we just didn't do it. So today, much better. I was nervous. I was definitely nervous heading into this as well. Um, and trading's hard. Trading is hard, but I'm learning so much. There's a lot of YouTubers that I watch now, and I'm sure I'm gonna shout them out over the course of making this channel. But Um, one of the guys that I watch, his name is Winner's Evidence, and one of my favorite videos from him is he starts off the video and he's like, "Be patient with yourself," and he's a Nigerian homie, and I always think about that a lot. I always think about like how I just have to be patient with myself, and um, you know, I just gotta be patient and just do the best I can to get better. So, good trade today, good win. The Stoic passage I'm about to read real quick is from uh, Handbook Discourses and Fragments by Epictetus. It's translated by Robin Waterfield. The book looks like this. So I do read this. I've been studying Stoicism for about 7 years now. And it's not that broicism, where like you're just like non-emotional about things. It's accepting your emotions for what they are, letting them come on and being able to decipher them. So the passage um, goes like this. But now, although it's possible for us to make just one thing the object of our care and devotion, we prefer to care for and be attached to many things: body, possessions, brother, friend, child, slave. And this attachment to many things weighs and drags us down. That's why, if the weather stops us from setting sail, we sit and fume, constantly peering outside. Which direction is the wind from? The north. Damn, when is it going to blow from the west? In its own good time, my friend, or when Aeolus decides. After all, it was Aeolus, not you, whom God made the steward of the winds. So what must we do? Make the best of what's up to us and take everything else as it comes. And how does it come? As God wishes. And that's basically trading in a nutshell, right? Where it's like we're waiting for the perfect setup. We're trying to be patient, right? We're trying to wait for what we want, right? But a lot of times it's like you get something, you take something from whatever the market's showing you at that time that's not exactly what you want, right? So you're setting sail and the wind is blowing from the north and you're waiting for it to blow from the west. And you're like, bro, you know what? I'm just gonna jump in now. I'm gonna get in the boat and start sailing now. It's like, imagine how crazy that sounds. You're putting your life at risk and in danger just because you want it now, right? And that's kind of like how I try to go into trading as well. Uh, where it's like wait for what you need to get, you know? And today I did that and today I was able to make money and I'm really happy about that. But like you have to wait for what you want, right? If this if this trade doesn't break the zone and come back into it, right? And I don't see any signs that we're heading lower, then I'm not going to take the trade. That's just how I trade, right? For someone else, they might trade a different way, but you have to, if you know that your strategy is proven to work, you've back tested, you've studied other people trading a similar way, you've seen what they do, you see what makes them successful, then you just gotta wait for it, you know? There's always another day in the market. And like last night, I did not think about that. I was like, I need to make money now. I need to make money for me and my family. I need to get a funded account as soon as possible. But clearly that messed me up. If I had just taken the normal, first of all, if I'd risked normally, right, it might have been like a $800 loss, you know, for possibly $1,000 gain. But if I just risked normally, I would still be in the account. Yeah, I would have sucked to lose, but I'd still be there, right? Instead, I blew it all my profits away, and then some. Buy another account and tilt again, almost blowing that account too in the same night. It's like, what are you doing, man? So we can just focus on accepting whatever the market gives us, then we're going to be so much better. We're going to improve a lot. We're going to understand that there's always another day. There's always another day in trading, and your setup will come again. You know, no matter what happens, your setup will come again. So that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I'll probably link Winner's Evidence channel as well. Show him some love. He's been doing really well on his channel too. So um, I appreciate people like that who are transparent with their journey, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do as well. So I'm not going to hide, you know, me tilting last night or me, um, you know, buying another account and almost blowing that one in the same night too. I'm not going to hide that from you guys because this space on YouTube really needs a transparency. We really need a lot of people to show like this is what I do. You know, this is how it is to be a trader. You know, that it's not just profit after profit after profit. It's people who are learning to become profitable, people who are already profitable but are struggling in a period of time. You know, people who are doing very well and are trading their strategy to a T, you know. That's kind of what we need. So anyway, that's it for the video. Tomorrow, I'll be trading again if there's a setup. If there's not, I'm not going to trade. I might make a video. I'm not sure yet. Um, but yeah, I enjoy doing these. Third one. I'm really liking this. So anyway, that's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.